I'm Samantha Nagan, and this is Witnessing Walworth, and we're in East Troy, Wisconsin at the East Troy Electric Railroad Museum.
Yeah, my name is Jim Fireherm, and I'm the operations manager here at the East Troy Electric Railroad. Some people call it the East Troy Railroad Museum. Not only is it a museum here, but we also run trains. We actually run on the last 7.5 miles of the old TMERNL. That stands for the Milwaukee Electric Railway and Light Company. Light Company is important to remember. I'll get to that in a minute. In 1907, there were 385 miles of track in and around the Milwaukee area. Serviced the communities because that's how people needed to get around, because cars weren't around yet. From 1907, this building we're standing in here was never a depot. The volunteers, well, I'll get to, we made the depot, but this was the power substation. This is where the 600 volt DC was made for operating the trains. It's an overhead trolley system. That's what we use. So from 1907 all the way up until 1939, the TMERNL transported people in and out of Milwaukee. There were 9 trips a day from East Troy to Milwaukee. First one, I believe, left at about 6:30. Last one got in here about 10 o'clock. So in 1939, because of the automobile and a lot of other things, ridership was down. So the TMERNL sold the stuff in Milwaukee to the transport company, and they stayed operating in Milwaukee, but the rural routes were all closed. The village of East Troy here was operating a lot of freight also, and they didn't want that to go away. So they made some negotiations, and for $10,000 in 1939, they bought the last 7.5 miles from McGuanago, connecting to the Sioux Line Railroad, to us. So the village operated it from 1939 up until 1972. Now in 1972, there were some volunteers, like myself, that had real operating trains, and they wanted somewhere to do that. So they made an arrangement with the village, and the village ran freight during the week, and the volunteers ran on the weekend. So on Memorial Day, 1972, we had our first revenue passenger, which means we've been in business for over 50 years. So from 1972 to 1985, we actually ran together, the village and the volunteers. And in 1985, the village, the freight business was down, and they needed to sell the railroad. So they sold it to the volunteers. There was a big fundraiser for that, and we took ownership of the railroad in '85. We turned this into this was actually turned into a depot in '72, but there was a device behind that glass over there. It was called a rotary converter, and that's what was original in 1907. That's what produced the DC power. So from 1972 to 1985, that thing made a lot of noise in the background, and that provided the power. But in 1985, the volunteers decided to do something different. Solid State was around, and we made a substation down at Army Lake, which is about 3 miles to the east. We also put in a passing siding, and so now we have a substation down there. We did not get rid of all the equipment, which maybe we can go and take a look. It's pretty cool old switchgear equipment. And so that's how they operated from 1985 all the way to present. That's a little bit about us. We're open on generally from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In May, we just run on Saturday, and then in the fall, we run our Harvest Fest, which we partner with the Elegant Farmer, and they have their apple orchard and all of that open, and we run 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, a train just about every hour. So you can go to our website, easttroyrr.org, and see all of our information. We recommend that you have reserved seating, or you can always come here and just buy a ticket if there's a space available.
My name is Haley Robinson. I am the volunteer coordinator here at East Troy Railroad Museum.
So how many volunteers do you have currently?
We currently have over 120 volunteers, but we do have a core group of about 40 active members that are out here on a regular basis.
And what are the different kinds of opportunities that volunteers can get involved with?
We are volunteer run, so it's everything. Everything from running the trains themselves, maintaining them. It is all historic equipment. Actually the landscaping. So landscaping, guard work, depot gift shop. We're actually looking specifically for people in our depot gift shop and for our special events, like Santa's workshop come Christmas time.
And what's the application process like if someone's interested?
Application process is actually super informal. You go through me, which is super nice. You can find your application on our website, easttroyrailroad.org, or you can just email me directly at volunteerwithus@easttroyrr.org.
And why do you think that someone should volunteer here?
I volunteered at a lot of places, and I know every place will say, oh, it's like a family. I can honestly say that this place is like a family. Me and my husband got married out here, and we didn't have volunteers fighting over who got to come to the wedding. Everyone was fighting over who got to work the wedding to make sure our day was special. So everyone, it's a really cool group of people, and you'll learn skill sets you never thought you would learn.
How many people visit in a year?
Yearly attendance, great question. Last year we almost made 25,000, 24,970 something, so we just missed it. So this year we hope that we can make about 25,000 people. We do also, what helps that is our special events. We have bunny trains a couple of weeks before Easter. We run a Saturday, a Sunday, and then a Friday and a Saturday. People get on the trains, it's all reserved seating, it's all reserved. We go from here, East Troy, down to the Elegant Farmer, which is the bunny hut. And they can see the Easter bunny and take pictures. Then in the fall, we have trick-or-treat trains. The town of East Troy has a wonderful park, Jim Burns Memorial Park. And we set up a whole bunch of games, and they go down there and the kids get candy. So we have, those are every Friday night in October. And then after Thanksgiving, actually that Thanksgiving weekend, we start on our Christmas trains. So normal ticket prices, adult is 17, children are 14, under 2 are free. We have dinner train pricing varies. Our most inexpensive one, I believe, is about $95. It goes all the way up to $185, and that is a really nice train. The Epicurean Express, but most of them run right about $125. And a lot of people go, Jim, that's a lot of money. And I go, well, it is. But you get a nice 4-course meal, full bar is on the train. And I always say we're not a cheap date, but we're a really good one. So, like today, we just opened up and we'll have 6 trains. We have one every hour starting at 10 o'clock all the way to 3, and then we have a dinner train this evening. Another thing that we do is we do charters. You can charter a train. All kinds of things. Birthday parties, reunions, family gatherings, all kinds of ideas. We've had weddings. We've done some weddings on the train. And last year, we had 2 proposals on our train. Thank you very much for asking. We get a lot of people that call and come in with all kinds of train artifacts. We have to kind of limit it to anything that was related to electric trains, electric trolleys, or anything that is particular to this line, the TME-R&L, the North Shore, the CTA in Chicago, things like that.
This has been Witnessing Walworth. Thank you for watching.